I've had commissions open since, well, like 3-ish years now, and I only had maybe one customer in that entire period. It wasn't in real life thanks to some help, but like, that's it. Well, I am a miniature artist, so I don't expect to be swimming in money and clients. That got me thinking though, I should probably just revamp my commissions. Do I think I will get anyone commissioning me after this? Absolutely not, because marketing skills where? But at the very least, when that time comes, at least my form and sheet don't look like a hot mess. So join me as I decide to revamp my entire sheet for 2026. An effective commission sheet will tell you everything you need to know about an artist's commission. I think my old sheet was okay, but I just felt like completely changing the format in the big 2026. So my idea is that I'll just have one full body piece and then I'll pretty much divide it into 3 parts to show the sketch, flat colors, and shading. I'm probably explaining it very poorly, but hopefully you all get the idea by the very end. Oh, and I'd like to take a moment to say that my graphic design experience is maybe like 4 classes in total, 2 in middle school and 2 in high school, so if the graphic design and arrangement looks kinda bad, oops. I mean, I think it looks okay, but I'm sure the professionals would be like, where is the fundamentals of design? To that I say, there is none. I'm winging it and just hoping it looks good. I mean, in my personal opinion, I think it looks okay. Oh, and it was at that moment when I realized I hadn't drawn Jihoon in a long time, so I had to literally look at a reference I made for him instead of pulling stuff out of my memory. And now this is the part where I go on a tangent about random things because the art process was too smooth, so I need things to talk about. I decided I'll keep up with the consistency by having Jihoon as the character on this instead of my hundreds of other characters. I may as well stay on brand, even though, like I said, I hadn't drawn Jihoon in a while. I've just been drawing my other muses instead of Jihoon himself so they can receive art, but now my main 4 that I used to draw often are sorta sidelined. Yeah, so that happened, but it's okay, I say sarcastically. I do still like Jihoon though, and it was really fun getting to draw him again after so long. It was also very interesting to see what 2024 me was thinking for design because that reference sheet I made for him back in 2024 was interesting. I put a surprising amount of detail on his bottom half even though I don't draw more than a half body nowadays. Well, guess we think of everything here. Now, to keep things mildly on topic, let's talk about some actual commission things. Now, I didn't record this part, but I actually went back and reorganized my request form. Originally, I had it to where you could request either a sketch, flat color, or shaded piece. I decided that was just strange because I believe most artists actually set up their request forms to where you request based on size. So like for example, you'd request a bust shot. So that's what I did. I set it up to where you select the size and in extras, then you select the finish level. So like either a sketch, flats, or shaded piece. I thought it would be much better like that. I had to find new example images though, and admittedly it was hard for both bust and full body because I mostly draw half bodies. It's much easier for me to make a composition for a half body rather than a full body. I found examples in the end, but man, it took some digging. I also tried to find recent art examples because something else I noticed was that my example images were severely outdated. I'm talking I hadn't changed them since I first made the form. My art is leaps and bounds better than it was back in 2023. I'm usually slow to update things, so that's kind of on me. But yeah, it's not a good look if I have my old art as examples because then future clients will think I'm actually chopped. I mean, I am chopped, but shush. Now another thing I did was I completely removed commissions off of Ko-fi because it would be hard for me to keep track of commissions in 2 places. You can pay directly on Artistry, so I kept that one as the main request form. Unfortunately, I don't have a VGen and I'm way too shy to actually request codes from people. I think it's pretty obvious I'm a legitimate artist if my videos and all of my speed paints don't say enough, though you can fake a speed paint nowadays with AI. I think watching my speed paints, you can tell I'm an artist because you can clearly see all of the moments where I'm forced to do live stuff mid-recording in some of them. Yes, I am calling out my random long pauses in my speed paints because seriously. And this is what I get for trying to do everything in one sitting. Now back on topic. Artistry is the main way anyone can reach me for commissions. I think I can consider stepping out and trying to get a VGen code when I have more of a client base because it would be kind of a waste to be on VGen and just not do anything with it because no clients. Legitimate artists with a client base definitely deserve to be on there. I'm just cool with my simple things as of now because hey, even without commissions, I will still do art for the love of the game. Even if life says hi and crashes into me like those trucks in the K-dramas. Now, I will finish things off by talking about prices. I decided the prices at the very end. When I had my old prices, I was trying to pay myself maybe about $15 to $17 an hour. But obviously that didn't work out too much for me. The one client I did have, I ended up giving like an 80% discount because I did want to get money of some kind from my art. I think with having my prices so high, it did tell me one thing. There is no demand for my art. Kind of a harsh reality because, yes, I want to be paid a lot for my time. But I also have to recognize there are millions of artists out there offering commissions too. So what even makes me stand out among the sea of artists? A client can find a different artist for much cheaper that offers a lot higher quality than I can. And that is just the way business is. And so I decided to lower my prices by a lot. I want to eventually work up to having higher prices again, but when it comes to commissions, I would consider myself starting out. Just because I've drawn and posted art for years doesn't mean much here, because handling commissions is an entirely different skill set. You hear about artists who are extremely talented, but people's commission experiences aren't the best with them. So with that being said, yeah, that is why my prices now are the way they are. If I get to a point where I am overwhelmed with commissions, I'll raise my prices to reflect the demand. Now, I still have enough self-respect for myself to not charge pennies for these pieces, because I can literally spend 12 hours straight on one piece if it's complex enough, and charging like $5 for that is absurd. But I definitely hope affordable prices can help encourage people to maybe consider commissioning me. But also, I know what it's like to be broke, because well, I am in fact broke. If I had all the money in the world, bet that I will literally be funding all artists myself. But I'm no billionaire, so yeah. The price talk got a little serious there, but I think since this is about commissions, it's probably important to discuss. Now for those that want to do commissions, please price yourselves right. And don't let my oh so serious talk stop you from pricing yourself high because you think your art is worth it. At the end of the day, these are just my thoughts about why I'm pricing myself a certain way, so yeah. Anyways, we're approaching the end of the speed paint here, so let me show you all the final sheet. Here is the final sheet. So like I said, my request form is in Artistry, which I should have linked in the description if you want to commission me. If you don't have money, that's not a problem. You can still support me by giving me a like and subscribe here. I appreciate each and every one of you who bothers watching my videos. Maybe I'll see everyone in the next one. Until then, bye!